Texas Congressman Michael Cloud. Congressman, great to have you with me. So after hearing the testimonies from the heads of PBS and NPR, we played a little clip a bit ago. Do you believe they should still be receiving federal funding?
You know, there's really no need for them, not in today's digital age where everybody has a screen in their pocket and we have plenty of content to choose from. We are not where we were in the 60s for sure, and there's plenty of options out there, and especially with what was revealed yesterday and what we've seen in the past, these organizations certainly have a bent, and it's not something taxpayers need to be paying for.
So PBS is federally funded. They get money from the government to operate. For those who haven't watched PBS recently, here's a clip of one of their children's shows meant to educate young minds.
The shoulders on the drag thing go shimmy, 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 shimmy. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay, that was just a 13-second clip. The name of that show is Let's Learn. Is that what we want children learning? Also, that segment courtesy of the drag queen Little Miss Hot Mess. Congressman, are taxpayer dollars hard at work there?
Oh yeah, this is a long cry from Mr. Rogers and some of the stuff that we grew up on, and certainly not what parents are wanting to see, education for their kids. You know, we are struggling with math, reading, and science scores, and the whole impetus behind some of the people saying that this is money that's well spent. No, this is not. The fact that that kind of stuff is embraced or even considered is atrocious, and just one more reason why we don't need to have federal tax dollars going to this.
Yeah, and back in 2020, when NPR was asked about why they will not cover the Hunter Biden laptop story, they replied, quote, "We don't want to waste our time on stories that are not really stories. We don't want to waste listeners and readers' time on stories that are pure distractions." You asked their CEO about that yesterday, and she claimed it was a mistake. 5 years, 2 elections later, they finally admitted it. What did you make of that?
Well, post-election, when it doesn't matter anymore, you know, they got what they needed out of it. They moved the needle in an election, and this is exactly, you know, yes, yesterday I made the comment about my uncle used to say, never let the truth get in the way of a good story, and that was funny when it was fishing trips and the like, but this is exactly what we've seen coming from what's supposed to be these nonpartisan news outlets, where they're very biased in what they choose to report on and how they choose to frame the stories, continually against President Trump, against positive ideals, and complete disregard for what was an absolutely true story. The fact that Hunter Biden's laptop was very, very real, and had evidence of criminal conduct on it.
So before we let you go, I know that you're also on the subcommittee on military and foreign affairs, and you've called the left's outrage over the Signal chat astonishing, especially because Democrats were silent when 13 American soldiers died during that Afghanistan withdrawal. Are Democrats just kind of grasping for straws here, trying to find anything to flip the momentum back to their party?
Well, you know, certainly it was unfortunate. I'm glad to see that the administration is looking into fixing it and making sure it doesn't happen again. But let's not lose the big picture. We had a successful military strike. There were no U.S. casualties. The big stories kind of got lost in the mix. And what we didn't see was the outcry from the left when 13 of our service members were killed in Afghanistan. Some even called this the greatest security blunder in a century. I can think of 9/11. I can think of Pearl Harbor. It's just complete disregard for reality, completely taking this out of context. And the big story here is that we had a successful military strike.
You were absolutely correct. Congressman Michael Cloud, thank you for taking the time this morning.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.